Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well, you beautiful, beautiful people, as we are still in the midweek hump, like some twilight zone that we just can't escape from. God, I hate Wednesdays. But we're here, we're together, and this is video two of two. You know the drill. After this one, go and check out the other one if you haven't already. And even if you have, maybe go watch it again. But look, what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the Idaho 4 case and the fact that, look, people are still reaching out to me and they're saying, I've done a post yesterday in the community feed about WSU Kim, and look, some people felt that, look, I don't agree with you. I believe that she's credible. And look, absolutely, again, over here, we don't care about what people's thoughts are in terms of you must think the same as me or you're not welcome. Not welcome here unless you are a sheep. No, it's not about that. We all have our own minds. We have our own ways of sort of, taking in what we hear and trusting what we do and what we don't trust. And that's right. And what I want to try and do on this channel is to make people more accepting of other information as well, so they're not just closed-minded and they don't accept this sheep mentality where you just trust what you're being told and you don't have any questions. That's all. And in that vein, I just want to touch on what happens behind the scenes that you guys don't see, what you guys do not see, to hopefully let you understand a little bit more about what it means being a content creator and what it opens you up to. And after this video, I'll say go and comment on the likes of Jules of all trades and Grizzly, because these are all people who I have been involved in email threads with, and I have responded to people and made my stance very clear. I spoke to Jules just yesterday in email after another approach by someone. I'm going to touch on that in a bit because this shit will blow your fucking mind. But look, in terms of people like WSU Kim, why I personally struggle with it, and this isn't just exclusively WSU Kim, this is, I know that there's been other people who are floating around in creators' live chats and streams right now, and they're offering information, they're offering insight, they're coming out, and there's two sides of that story, and you could argue either one of them. So, even I can't be closed-minded enough to say, look, I'm completely going to disregard this person because it's impossible that they're being honest. Because you could argue that there's been a length of time in the Idaho 4 case where these locals are now starting to think it's okay to come out and it's okay to talk. Or maybe they've seen or maybe they've heard something, and the fact that we are where we are, perhaps they feel that they do need to come out and tell people things, and because they don't perhaps trust law enforcement, they don't trust the system, and they feel that it would be safer or wiser to get what they know out to a wider audience. But this is where I struggle, because there's many people come out, WSU Kim included in this, and they have these fantastical stories and they have these versions of events, but these versions of events, these stories, they offer no tangible evidence. No tangible evidence whatsoever. They can talk about messages, they can talk about calls, they can talk about this, that and the other, but they can offer absolutely no tangible proof to support it. And in fact, as their stories go on and they develop over time, there's certain elements and nuances to them that change and adapt. And they seem to change and adapt to move in line with what information comes out from elsewhere. Phone calls can turn into messages. Messages can turn into threads on Snapchat, for instance. And, these... I don't know, I know that there's loads and loads of you guys who have children, and, there's loads and loads of ways that they can message each other. WhatsApp, like in the UK, I'd say WhatsApp is the most popular. It's easy to use, owned by Meta, there's encryption on it, there's, you can set up groups, so on and so forth, and that seems to be the most popular in here. And you know, I don't really know anyone in amongst the kids who we have around who use Snapchat as their primary messenger setup. But yet, in this case, the Idaho 4 case, it seems that Snapchat was indeed the messenger being used. And I think to myself, well, that's quite convenient, considering that the Snapchat messenger vanishes when you read it, unless it's set otherwise. So then that's an argument as to why there is no proof to be shown, because not one person's got a screenshot of it, not one person's got any evidence to it. So that goes away, that element of that goes away. But then I think to myself, well, there must be one message, there must be something, there must be some screenshot or some phone call or it must be some proof anyway. It's like the Kylie Rodney party. The Kylie Rodney party that so many people attended, but yet there's not one fucking photo of. My conclusion is it didn't happen. Unless somebody can come with tangible proof, it didn't happen. And that's my mentality now. But I was approached and I was sent photographs. I was told that there was actually a video that I could be sent, but if I was sent the video, there would be rules to this video being sent to me. But what they were insinuating is that the video that I would be sent would contain the deceased in the Idaho 4 case. And I was sent still images from that video. Now, I could have come out as a content creator and said, hey, look what I've got, look what I've got. And I think that there are people out there who specifically target content creators in order to control the narrative of what is being spoken about within the niche, to control the direction. And whether that is people connected to the case itself, or whether that is people who just simply do it for entertainment, Joseph Morris, there's just people who do it. And content creators need to be very fucking careful who they have on their channels. You'll know, for those of you who have been around, who have I had on this channel? Who have I brought on to do a live on this channel? No one. Nobody, because I don't trust anybody. I do not trust anybody. And I don't mean other content creators, I mean guests. I've been approached by the likes of people involved in Xana Canodal's mum, who said that she would come on the show, and I wasn't going to have her on either. Don't trust anybody. There are people out there who will simply be out there for entertainment purposes' sake. They want to get involved. It's a huge, huge case. They want to get involved so they can step back and say, oh, I did that. And I do feel that there are situations where this niche can be manipulated by people who are strategically placed to cause red herrings, to make us look here where one should be looking over here. But all I'd say to people is, if you're willing to listen to people, or you want to listen to people, and if you're a content creator that wants to have someone on your show, or you feel that you've been approached by someone who is credible, and ask them and make sure that what they're like. I'll give you another example before I go, because it's Wednesday and you've probably got other stuff to do. A guy approaches me. I think he'd been on other channels. I think he'd been over on T-Rev and the likes of that. He comes to me on email, and he says, right, I want to come on your show. And I'm paraphrasing, because this was longer. Basically, he knows Brian Koberger. He went to school with him, he's so on and so forth. I want to come on the show and have a chat. Okay. Well, what I'd rather do first is I'm going to send you some questions. This was backwards and forwards. We'd spoken numerous times. So this was backwards. Always responding. Get to this message. And I say, right, I'm going to send you some questions. And I want you to answer these 10 questions. They're very, very simple questions. Send them, and then because if you can answer these, I don't really need you on the channel, because you've just asked them. You've just answered what I would have asked you then. I don't need you to be on the channel to answer these questions. Never come back to me. Never come back to me at all. So they wanted to be on the channel. They didn't want to help. They didn't want to answer questions. They didn't want to offer any insight because they were Brian's friend and they felt that he was being wronged. They just want to get on the channel. As soon as that disconnect you're not coming on the channel, but you can certainly still do what you want to do. You can get your point across, but I just need you to answer these questions first to prove that you are indeed who you are. And never came back to me. That's the gospel truth. And this is a person who had frequented other channels. So look, that's why I find it very hard to trust people. And am I wrong in that? Yeah, I could be. I could be distrusting of people who can be trusted. But I have a very clear set of rules, and that is for you to be understood as someone who can be 100% trusted, you need to show me tangible evidence of what you're saying. And we've been bit in the past, and that has made me more vigilant when it comes to that. And that's it. Let me know down below what you think. How many of these people truly are credible, and how many of these people have been sent in to steer the ship in a different direction than it should be going? And how many people are just doing it for entertainment's sake? You don't need no more entertainment in this niche. You got me. And I'll catch you all in the next one.